Morning again. So, I've contacted all the representatives and the senators of the state of Louisiana in lieu of the chemical additive list because we should, as patients, we should know what's going into our medicine. We should know what chemicals they're using and what additives and what insecticides and pesticides they're using in our medicine. You know, if some company is going to be growing our company or our medications, we should know what's being used. You know, in that it's our right, because these are adulterants that are being added into our medicine. So, what I did was I got the list from Colorado of what's accepted as acceptable forms of pesticides and what's considered unacceptable forms of pesticides according to community standards. So, if these community standards aren't being met by GB Sciences, which would also possibly explain why there's no medicine, and you know, there's just some things, some questions, and I'm sorry that I'm raising all this awareness all at one time for all of these issues around the program, but you know, you can't wing safety. And that's been the whole issue this entire time, is that they've been trying to wing safety. Patient safety, medication safety, you know, safety to access. You know, there's problems. And I'm not the only one who's seeing it, but I am definitely one of the only ones who are experiencing it. But I think that's because of timing, location, and a few other factors, but it still does not change the fact that I'm experiencing these things. So, if we're going to make my life a miserable hell because we choose so, then that's cool. I'm going to just bust out everything because we have a right to know these things. We have a right to know what's going into our medication. We have a right to know, you know, why hasn't this stuff opened? Why isn't there an enforcement division to control GB Sciences? And if that enforcement division itself is the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, or the Department of Health and Hospitals, or, you know, the Board of Physicians themselves, or whoever it is, you know, whoever is the regulator and governor over this device, we as patients have the right to know what adulterants are actually being incorporated into our medication. Not after we ingest it, but beforehand. And we're not test subjects. You see, that's a big thing, is that we're not test subjects. You know, they're trying to present it off as a test subject situation as well. We're not test subjects. Because, see, this plant was here before we were. And that's a real thing. And in fact, you know, if it wasn't for, I don't know, Columbus bringing over the hemp seed on the Mayflower, we wouldn't have the variety of strains that we have here in America today. That's a pretty well-known fact. If you don't know your history, you might want to check into that. But I can guarantee you, the times of Columbus, they didn't use Dow chemicals to grow it. So, that being said, y'all have a great day. And we're just out here waiting for our medication, advocating for patient rights until we get our medication. Peace.